Good evening, Mr. Mandrake.
Good evening, steward.
How'd you make out?
Swell. I opened the vent in Mandrake's stateroom. We'll be able to hear anything he, Mr. Webster, have to say.
Oh, that's great.
Hello, Webster. Come in.
Getting ready for the show after dinner, Mandrake?
Yes. Lothar, where's my dress shirt?
Here it is, sir.
Telegram. What's the matter? Bad news?
Read that. It's from Professor Houston's daughter.
Houston, the Radium Authority?
Yes. Houston has been perfecting a machine to create radium energy. You know how vital radium is for medical use? This machine, when completed, will do all radium does and more. Just as effective and lots easier to handle.
How nearly finished is it?
Only Professor Houston knows. Because of that, I'm worried about this message. Before I met you in Shanghai, I had been in Tibet.
Yes, I remember you said something in Shanghai about being on a mission. That what took you to Tibet?
Yes. Ever hear of platinite?
Why, of course. Platinite's the hardest substance known.
An old lama in Tibet told me a formula for mixing platinite with steel to make a supermetal. Professor Houston needs it to make his machine.
Platinite's as rare as radium. Where can you find it?
Actually, it's only part of it. I've looked all over the world for it. Now I've discovered that it can be found in only one spot in the United States.
Yeah, but where?
We let that remain a secret for the time being?
Whatever you say. But I still can't understand why Houston would be endangered.
Because his radium machine, while it can be a great boon to humanity, could also be a very destructive force in the hands of racketeers or crooks. But let's forget about that. Now I have to get ready for the show.
All right, take your time, Mandrake. I'll be waiting for you in the salon.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our voyage from the Orient ends tomorrow evening. Captain and the crew hope you've all had an enjoyable cruise. Climax the festivities, I introduce our distinguished fellow passenger, Mandrake the Magician.
Thank you. As we're going to be a bit informal this evening, I'm going to begin by asking someone in the audience to suggest a bit of magic. Then how about you, Percy?
Well, I guess we'd all like to know how to get rich quick.
Very simple. I'll begin by taking a little contribution from you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will pass among you, and I want you to give till it hurts. Just another reason why gentlemen prefer blondes. Ah, thank you for your generosity, Captain. Ah, the air is full of mystery. Most young ladies carry it in their stocking. No offense. It isn't hay. Lothar. The King's ransom, ladies and gentlemen. My next trick will be one that I brought from the hidden land of Tibet, land of mystery. I have here a candle. I'm going to light. Be careful not to burn the candle at both ends. Here's a tube. Any of you care to inspect it? There's nothing in it. You're quite satisfied there's nothing in it? All right. Proceed to put the tube over the candle very carefully so as not to put out the flame. Ah, what have we here? My favorite flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be very careful to keep one eye on the candle, one eye on the flower. Watch carefully. 1, 2, 3. Shall we see if the candle is still lighted? Light. But what of the candle? Candle. Thank you. Now I will show you a trick that anyone can do at his breakfast table. It's all very simple. As you can see, there is nothing in the teacup. I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that these are ordinary teacups that I got from the dining room steward. These little balls are the handiest things I could find around here. There is no connection between the balls and the teacup. They never saw each other before. I wonder what the steward will do with these teacups when I return them to him. That is, if I return them to him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will watch very closely, I am positive that you will agree with me that the hand is quicker than the eye. As I said before, the hand is faster than the eye. I take the ball from under the teacup and put it in my pocket. And look under the teacup again. But the ball is still there. Then I take this one and put it in my pocket. But it is still here. You know, these little balls have a funny habit. I keep putting them in my pocket, but they won't stay there, because we always find them under the teacup. Well, I hope you are enjoying this, ladies and gentlemen, because I could go on doing this all day. And I know that if you'll watch very closely, you'll see what happens to the little balls. It's funny where they come from, and I hope funnier to see them go. Thank you. My next trick will be this. I will allow myself to be bound hand and foot, and then locked in this cabinet. Purser, will you examine me so that I cannot release myself? Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after my assistant has locked me in the cabinet, I want you to keep your eyes very carefully on the cabinet. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my performance for the evening. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
But Master Who?
Smile, LaFaz, smile. Make believe it's part of the act.
Hey, what's going on? That wasn't an act, that was a real bullet.
I know.
Aren't you going to the captain, have the ship searched, find out who...
Oh, no, that wouldn't do at all. That'd be the kind of publicity that Professor Houston doesn't want.
Professor Houston?
Yes. There's a connection between his machine and this attack on me.
But why?
There are a lot of whys that I can't answer at the moment. But this much is clear. The sooner I get to Professor Houston's home, the better it'll be.
Just a minute. Who is it?
It's Betty, Dad.
All right.
Dad, Mandrake will be here tomorrow.
Well, this is good news. I wonder if Mandrake found out about...
About what?
Something connected with the work I've been doing.
become so nervous and mysterious lately. Please tell me what's troubling you.
It's nothing. Nothing at all. Now don't look so serious. You aren't saving all your pretty smiles for Mandrake, are you?
Mandrake? Is Mandrake coming back, Dan?
Yes, Tommy. He'll be here tomorrow afternoon.
Look, Sid, you said you'd buy me a magic outfit if I could surprise Mandrake.
I'll buy it for you tomorrow, Tommy.
Now that that's settled, suppose you two clear out and let me get to work.
Tommy!
Tommy, never do that again. This tank is filled with highly explosive gas.
Sorry. I didn't know, Dan.
That's... Good night.
Good night, Dan. Good night, Dan. Don't work so hard.
I won't. Good night.
Betty, why do I have to wait till tomorrow to get my magic kit?
Oh, well, I suppose I won't get any rest unless I get it for you tonight. So come on.
Swell.
Wasp!
Yes, Professor Houston, the Wasp. Keep up the good work on your machine and complete it. Complete it for me.
Boys? It's the Wasp. Oh, dirt.
We've just finished talking with Professor Houston. The moment you will leave Houston alone. You will next meet Mandrake, who is flying his own plane. He will land at Highland Airfield tomorrow afternoon.
Will the Wasp be there?
You wouldn't know it even if he was there.
Would you?
No living man would. Remember that in case you ever get too curious. No living man. See that the boys meet Mr. Mandrake at the airfield.
There's Mandrake now.
Sorry, this is only a single-seater. You and the Thar will have to follow in a regular passenger plane.
Just as well we do.
All right, so long.
Good luck, Mandrake. I'll see you in Houston.
Right on.
Have a nice trip, Master.
Thanks, Lothar.
Watch yourself now.
Planes are all set. There's no balloon surprise.
Mandrake's having a little bit of trouble. That aileron ought to tail loose any minute.
but not for long.
Mandrake, are you hurt?
Betty. I'm all right. We have to get to your home right away.
Come on. Where to? We're going to tail his car. He's heading for Houston's home.
Those men won't follow us anymore. Let's get on to your house.
The idiots I sent on the Mandrake assignment failed. Mandrake is now on his way to the Houston home. You still have time to get there before he does. And this time you must not fail.
For you, Mr. Houston? I guess not. It's just a bruise. Got here just in time, Mandrake.
Apparently not. I got away. What's that?
Come on.
Let go of me.
Andre, Webster, what's going on here?
I found this man prowling around the side of the house.
I got no answer at the front door, so I came around here.
Well, now that we're met, allow me to introduce you. Andre, this is James Webster, the famous electrical engineer. My old friend, Dr. Andre Bennett.
How do you do?
How do you do? You must admit you did look suspicious.
Maybe I did. Just what were you doing on this side of the house?
I saw you as I drove up, and I came over to investigate.
All very natural. I met Webster in the Orient and called back here to supervise a big construction project. Come on in, gentlemen.
Why, Professor Houston, what's happened to you?
I had some visitors, uninvited visitors. And if it hadn't been for Mandrake's arrival...
Oh, pardon me. I'd like to have you meet a friend of mine, Mr. Webster. Betty Houston and Professor Houston.
Miss Houston, Professor, sorry about your injury. An attack, you say?
Yes. 2 men. Undoubtedly sent here by the Wasp. He was here himself, earlier.
The Wasp here?
Yes. His image appeared at 3 different places on the walls and windows.
3 different places?
But that's an old magical trick. The Wasp is undoubtedly a living reality, a real person. The images are only projections from a searchlight with the image painted on the lens.
The Wasp, eh? Seems to be a very daring person.
Shouldn't be surprised at these happenings. You remember I told you we were confronting a well-organized ring, dangerous and determined to get control of Professor Houston's radium energy machine.
That's true. And anything I tell you about my machine is all very confidential and must be kept that way. I started out to produce radium energy that succeeded beyond my wildest hopes.
Then the machine is a success.
Yes, so much so that I'm worried.
But I don't understand. You're afraid of your own invention.
Yes. You see, in creating a machine of such tremendous power, I invented a possible source of deadly evil.
How can that be?
Radium itself, while it can cure, can do great harm if wrongly handled. My machine has many times the force of radium. It can be made to concentrate that force on any point desired, on the same principle as air waves.
Let me just demonstrate it for you.
Mandrake, if it's true, this is amazing.
Looks very complicated, doesn't it?
If it only can retain that power.
I have to wear these as protection against burns, just as you do in X-ray work.
Oh, yeah.
I'll direct its force on that old steel cabinet thing. Now stand back while I turn on the power. Now what?
Perfect destruction.
Machine has only stepped up to a small part of its power. The sad part of it is, it could paralyze all communications, like buildings, cities.
In spite of the attacks that have been made on both of us because of this machine, you must carry on with it because it's so necessary to humanity.
By all means, Professor, carry on with it. The world needs this machine. Would you demonstrate it tomorrow night for the doctors of my clinic?
As a fellow scientist, I couldn't possibly refuse such a favor.
Thank you, Professor.
I don't trust this man, Webster.
Yes, I'm counting on him to help us with the platinite formula. He's a wizard with metals.
He had me a bit worried. After all, I didn't want to divulge the secrets of the machine too openly.
You don't have to worry about Webster. I'm sure he's reliable.
This machine is being demonstrated tonight before a group of doctors in Houston's laboratory. Be there and get the radium energy machine. Before you go, phone Mandrake. Pretend that you're Houston and ask Mandrake to bring some of the platinite with him. When he does, make sure that you get the machine and the platinite. You have failed me twice. This time you must not fail.
Y'all know what this means. We'll be using 2 cars. Ward, you drive one. Kent, you handle my car. We gotta stop and make a phone call to Mr. Mandrake.
Yes? No. This is Lothar. What? Very well, Professor. I'll tell him. It was Professor Houston. He said to bring the platinite with you.
That's funny. Houston knows I haven't any platinite.
Why'd he ask you to bring it?
He didn't. The call came from someone else. Someone who knows about platinite and thinks I have it.
What do they want with it?
I don't know. It is essential to Houston's machine. I have it. Someone is figuring on getting that machine, undoubtedly tonight. I have to get to Houston at once. You and Lothar follow as soon as you can.
Do you think your father will mind if I look in on him for a minute?
I'm sure he will.
Good. Almost ready, Professor?
Just about.
I'll notify my colleagues.
Everything all right, Professor?
Yes. Did you bring the flat knife?
Yes.
Webster,
come on in.
Mandrake, escaping a trap of the Wasp, is caught in the path of a rushing freight train. The Wasp orders his henchmen to destroy Mandrake. Mandrake and Betty are overpowered by henchmen of the Wasp in a fight for their lives. Will they escape? Mandrake, world-famous magician, associated with his friend, Professor Houston, is completing the invention of a radium energy machine destined to be of great value to humanity. Because the device generates tremendous power, it is sought for destructive purposes by a mysterious criminal known as the Wasp.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Webster,
come on in.
During a demonstration of the machine at Houston's laboratory, agents of the Wasp seized and carried off Houston. They were about to escape with the radium machine when Mandrake arrived. In the ensuing battle, the death-dealing device was put into action by a henchman of the Wasp. It ignited a tank of hydrogen, dooming Mandrake to certain death.
disappeared. And the radio machine is gone. I've got to try to catch them.
Don't shoot. They won't come much closer.
Clever. Not clever enough.
Why didn't they fix the car so we couldn't start it?
Because if we hadn't been able to start this car, we would have taken another. This way, we get started without suspicion, and then we're left stranded.
So they leave no trail.
Just a minute ago, I said they were clever, but not clever enough. They left a trail, all right. Let's check with Raymond. Any luck?
Well, not much. 3 of those locks have been purchased within the past month. 2 of them were bought by professional magicians now on tour with their companies.
And the third?
The man who made the sale said that the purchaser looked like an Egyptian. But he arrived and departed in a black sedan, probably a rented car, with a chauffeur. So I guess it looks like the end of that trail.
But my dad.
Well, Betty, that is not the end of the trail. We'll find that car and chauffeur if we have to check every rent station and cab stand in the city.
Mandrake is now on his way to check cab stands, trying to see who drove our Egyptian friend and where. See that Gibson is at his stand, and that Mandrake receives all necessary information.
I hope this is the right one.
Wait here, Luthor.
Car, mister?
No, thanks. I'm trying to locate a foreign-looking man who took a cab in the 600 block in Chestnut Street 2 days ago. Did either of you see him?
Yeah, I remember the guy. I drove him. Had a brown skin and a beard, and wore a silk scarf around his head instead of a hat.
Yes, that's the man. You remember where you took him?
Yeah, out on Harper Drive, number 1240.
Oh, that's fine. Catch.
Yeah, what is it?
Better watch your partner. You'll shortchange you. Thanks.
How'd that get in your pocket? Now answer me. I don't know.
Did you learn anything?
Yes, that's the driver, all right. He says he took the man to a place on Harper Drive.
What's the next move?
We're going to take you home, and then we're going to Harper Drive. All right, Luthor. There it is. Drive in beside the house. Now go up to the front door and stall to give me some time.
What do you want?
Is Mr. Stevenson in?
Nobody here by that name.
Now, isn't this, 1420 Harper Drive?
No, this is 1240.
disturb you, but the other day you purchased a certain Oriental lock at one of the Herbert Raymond stores. I'd like to know why you bought it and what...
Front window.
No use. He got away. We better report the dirt.
Okay.
All right. I can tell from your looks. Mandrake got away.
He sprung a tear gas bomb on us and we...
Save your excuses. Cut in on Houston's house. What's wrong?
This end's okay.
They must have found our transmitter set in the Houston house.
How could they? The set's hidden in a closet off the laboratory. The wasp.
Your transmitter set was damaged by the laboratory explosion. Have it repaired at once. That's all.
Yes, sir. Green, that's your job.
Get into Houston's house again? That's dangerous.
You heard the orders of the Wasp. You think it'd be less dangerous to disobey him?
Okay. Not a word.
Parsons? Parsons, there's the bell.
Who was it, sis?
I don't know. No one's here. Parsons must have answered the door.
I hope it was some word about Dad.
So did I. I thought surely we'd hear from Mandrake by now.
There he is. I know his horn.
Any news, Mandrake?
Nothing yet. But don't lose your nerve, you two. I'm quite sure your dad's all right. Come on.
Parsons!
What happened?
I don't know. A man came to the door, and we struggled, and he hit me.
You better go to your room and lie down.
Thank you, sir.
Tommy, will you please tell the Thou to have both of my cars serviced at once?
Yes, sir.
Mandrake, what happened? You know, this attempted burglary confirms my belief that whoever's holding Houston realizes that a rare element, platinite, is necessary for the perfection of the radium energy machine.
But that hasn't any platinite.
I understood you to say there was none of the metal available.
As a matter of fact, that statement isn't quite accurate. I have a small quantity, and to protect it, I'm going to run into the city tonight and place it in my safety deposit vault.
I wish you wouldn't discuss your plans quite so publicly, Mandrake. It's dangerous. I have some appointments to meet. I'll see you later.
I'll ride into town with you, Doctor, if you don't mind.
Mind? I was just about to suggest it. Take Lothar with you, Mandrake, and please be careful.
Dr. Bennett's right. So many strange things have happened lately. You shouldn't speak so... There's a myth.
On my way in tonight, I'll use the Graydon Highway. No one would expect me to take that.
What about the platinite?
That's just what I want him to do. I haven't any platinite.
But you told Dr. Bennett and Mr. Webster...
I said that for the benefit of the man I knew was hiding in the closet. Look, here he goes now to prepare a trap for me.
But it's dangerous.
Well, that may be, but it's got to be done. Not only the safety of your dad, but the lives of thousands of others are at stake.
But to step into a trap deliberately...
I know. That trap has to be sprung tonight. I want to see what happens. Come on. Don't put on your lights. Follow me, but keep far enough behind so that you can't be seen. Don't interfere unless I call for you.
Yes, Master, but you mean to let them catch you?
If they do, keep them in sight and see where they take me. That's all.
All right, Lothar, I'm going with you.
No, Miss Betty. This is dangerous.
Oh, save your breath because I'm going anyway. Now hurry or we'll lose track of him.
Yes, ma'am.
Here he comes. In the car.
Doing? We got you covered, Mandrake. If you want to stay healthy, come out of there with your hands up.
Well, where is it?
What?
The platinite. Talk fast.
You won't find it. Send in your chief. We might be able to strike a bargain.
The Wasp doesn't make bargains. He gives orders.
I suppose he's giving you orders about me, huh?
Right. To make you talk. And we have a very effective method. Come on, you better tell us where that platinite is hidden. Here, hold one side.
Hurry, Lothar.
That's a cannon of nocturnus. Stay back there.
The Wasp seals the lips of those who betray him. Mandrake, hypnotized, is kidnapped and placed in a flaming car. The Wasp traps Betty and Mandrake. With the energy machine, he brings the walls of a radio station crashing down on them. Will they escape?